A very good afternoon from Flanders Fields, dear cycling fans. This is an aerial view of the city of Ypres, and we're having Gent Wevelgem in Flanders Fields today. The start given at around 1400 Central European time in Ypres at the memorial of the Meningate, and the finish in Wevelgem later on. It's the 12th edition of the women's Gent Wevelgem, and it could be an epic one because of the weather conditions. The list of honor in this classic race: Elisa Balsamo, the Italian who was the best last year in 2021. Marianne Vos, she won the sprint. In 2020, a Belgian could win this race, Jolien Dore, and Kirsten Wild, Dutch rider, is the only one who could win it twice up to now. This is the ranking of the Women's World Tour at the moment. Lorena Wiebes leads, followed by Elisa Balsamo and Amanda Spratt, two Trek Segafredo riders. Then Lotte Kopecky, Pfeiffer Georgie, British rider who won Classic Bruges de Panne on Thursday earlier this week, is also in the top 10. This historic building in the center of the town of Ypres is the Lakenhalle, and the Flanders Fields Museum is a must visit when you're traveling to this region. In Flanders Fields Museum, dedicated to the Great War and the events in this area between 1914 and 1918. Then some recorded images of the team presentation with Jessica Allen, with Team Jayco Alula at the start. 5 Australian riders and 1 Dutch rider. Former world champion Amalie Diederiksen from Denmark. Maria Giulia Confalonieri, she was 3rd last year, now rides for Uno X. Corinne Lebecki, former American champion. Anna Henderson for Jumbo Visma, strong team for Jumbo Visma. No Marianne Vos though. She returns to racing in a few days on Wednesday. The Lotto Destiny ladies, Belgian team, with Mieke Dox, one of the Belgian riders. Aude Bianic, French rider for Movistar. And Marta Bastianelli, the Italian former world champion. Chiara Consoni for UAE. A strong team also, of course. Bastianelli won this race in 2018, and she's riding it for the last time in her career. Zoe Backstead joking with the camera operator, the team of EF Education Tipco, with Clara Hansinger. We know her from the cyclocross races. That's the feeding schedule of a Phoenix de Koning rider with Sanne Kant. Here we have Shari Bossait, local rider. She won the final stage of the Tour of Normandy last week. Here we have Maaike van der Duin, young rider from the Netherlands. Kasia Niewiadoma, ready to tackle the cobbles and the hills in Western Flanders and to cope with the difficult circumstances. Grace Brown, we might expect something from her later on today. Last year she was the one with a brutal attack. Team DSM with a great lineup again, with amongst others Charlotte Kool, but also Pfeiffer Georgie. She won Classic Bruges de Panne on Thursday. Was her breakthrough win. Megan Jastrap, the American, also was there in Bruges de Panne. and a chat between Pfeiffer Georgie and Anna Henderson, two British riders at the start. They enjoyed some dry conditions in the waiting room, but from then on it was rain all the way. Wind also there, but the rain will be a main factor today. After the team presentation, they went to the start. Lorena Wiebes, European champion, and Lotte Kopecky, two SD Worx riders, two riders to watch. Strong team in every race, SD Worx, with Maje Rus and Marlen Reusser. Kopecky, one of the favorites. Wiebes, also one of the favorites. Leading the World Tour ranking. Here we have Eleanor Backstedt. So Trek Segafredo also there with Elisa Balsamo, Italian champion and defending her title of last year. Chapman, Australian champion, and Lucinda Brandt. And then they gather under the Menin Gate to take the start, with Shirin van Andro there for Trek Segafredo talking to Niewiadoma. The Menin Gate, that's the memorial to the missing. Emily Talpe, she's the mayor of the town of Ypres, and she puts the flag up. And they're off for a day in the rain and in the wind, in harsh conditions, starting from the Menin Gate. Still some recorded images. Official start given by the race director Wim van Herrewegen, and then they're off for 162.5 K. Let's have a look at the map. We go to the Belgian coasts, then back through the section that's called the Moeren, where the wind could be a major factor, and then on to the climbs to the Heuveland circuit with 7 categorized climbs, and twice they go up the famous Kemmelberg. The last climb is the steepest one, and then again through Ypres with some more than 20k to go to the finish in Wevelgem. 162.5 k, and this new distance makes it the longest one-day race on the Women's World Tour calendar, longer even than the Tour of Flanders and Paris-Roubaix. Passage through the Moeren could be crucial. We noticed it a few days ago in classic Bruges de Panne, but less wind today. So not a lot of damage is done in the peloton, but we have several crashes. Martina Alzini for the Cofidis team, and she had to abandon after her crash into a ditch, attended by the doctors of the race, by the medical staff. Again a crash. Several riders involved, including American Lauren Stevens, Australian Nicole Frayne, and Arianna Fidanza, the fast Italian rider. She needs a new bike, a spare bike after that crash. And we're live into the race. So we had that first part of stress, as we might call it, in the Moeren, and now it's the second part of nervousness, of stress, going towards the climbs going towards the cobbled hills of Western Flanders. Not a lot of attacks. We had an early attack by a Dutch rider of Park Hotel Valkenburg, Pien Limpens. She was caught. Also, Norwegian champion Malin Eriksen tried her luck, but she could only manage to have a gap of 15 seconds. And then she was already caught by the peloton a few Ks later. So, with a complete bunch, we go to the Scherpenberg. 3K to go. First categorized hill of the day. A few riders dropped already. Two of the Proximus Alpha Motorhomes Dolcini team, including Danish rider Trine Holmsgaard. And this is Danique Hengeveld of DSM trying to get back to the back of the peloton. German Judith Kral also there. Just before the first climb, they can rejoin the peloton. The others of DSM there to the right, controlling, and again a crash. Again a crash, and there is someone of UAE involved. Marta Bastianelli held up by that crash. Another Cofidis rider down. They already lost Martina Alzini. Laura Tomassi of UAE. She might need a spare bike. In pain. Also the Cofidis rider in pain. It's the Canadian Gabrielle Pilote-Fortin. And that doesn't look good. Might be the second Cofidis rider who needs to leave the race due to injury. It happened at the back of the peloton. And immediately Pilote-Fortin grabbed her shoulder in pain. So this is Marta Bastianelli trying to get back to the peloton, make her way back after that crash. Also Sanne Kant is there, the Phoenix de Koning rider, former triple world champion in cyclocross. Bastianelli will retire from cycling on the 10th of July. So these are her last races, her final races. In 2018, she was the best in Wevelgem, Marta Bastianelli. Has shown already some good form earlier on this season. Almost back. So no problem for Bastianelli going to the Scherpenberg. This is Marjolein van 't Geloof, Dutch rider Maria Apollonia. In the Netherlands they call her Marjolein. She's a fast rider too, so maybe we'll see her later on if she manages to get back into position. Eleanor Backstedt there to the left for Trek Segafredo. All the teams trying to gather around. In the build-up to the Scherpenberg. The SM there to the right. Canyon SRAM also at the front of the bunch. Jumbo-Visma's there. And look at those faces. It's been a hard day out there, and it's getting even harder. Lorena Wiebes in the center. There is the Scherpenberg with a maximum gradient of 6%. Malin Eriksen seems to be dropped. Norwegian champion tried to attack some 20k. Lorena Wiebes very focused. She wants this one. She's been on the podium in Wevelgem. Last year she crashed with some 50k to go and never got back into the race again. Karlijn Swinkels of Jumbo-Visma taking some food from the team car. And again a crash. A Jaco Alula racer, rider, and also Lotto Destiny. And number 22, that's Eleonora Gasparini of UAE. Several crashes today. We see it happen there. Into the grass. And then trying to get back on the road. But the bike didn't go as it was supposed to be going. Lucinda Brandt also there on the second row for Trek Segafredo, but we have Eleanor Backstedt, Elisa Balsamo, Christine Majerus. After the Scherpenberg, we have the Baneberg, the next hill coming up. Almost 60k an hour. Canyon SRAM to the right with Niewiadoma and Bossuit. These riders are in trouble. Alex Manley, Australian rider of Jaco Alula. Marij Meijering here at the back, Dutch rider for ZAF cycling team. No Audrey Cordon-Ragot for ZAF cycling team today. French champion did not take the start. European champion Lorena Wiebes very much in front. Some cobbles in the village of Westouter and a crash again. Again, they go down. And Bastianelli held up again. Movistar riders involved. 3 Movistar riders. And it is 5 for Georgie. 5 for Georgie, winner of the Bruges de Panne Classic. And she needs a spare bike. Emilia Falin also there, but 5 for Georgie. On Thursday she had her breakthrough win on these roads, and now she goes down with 60k to go in this Gent Wevelgem. And unfortunately it won't be the last crash, I guess. Lone Mertens was also sitting there. That's where it happens, just before the left-hander. And Bastianelli held up again. Baneberg, and that's where we're going to. The windmill on top. Eleanor Backstedt with great work for Elisa Balsamo. We also have Niewiadoma there. Polish rider of Canyon SRAM. Wiebes with her European champion jersey, recognizable. A lot of mud on this Baneberg. Tailwind in this section. And there is always some wind in this part of Western Flanders. Marlen Reusser for SD Works. We had the first part of the Baneberg, and immediately we have another ascent towards the windmill. Jesse van den Bulke at the back. These riders are struggling. Second part of the Baneberg now. Going up towards the windmill. Lijstermolen. Oh, a problem there for Reusser. She didn't quite follow the road there, and she was running with her bike. There is Kopecky, focused. Last year, Kopecky tried to attack after the first couple of hills. She won Nokere Koersen and Omloop het Nieuwsblad this year for her new team, SD Works. For her team, SD Works, actually for Lorena Wiebes, it's the new team. Wiebes is there. Anna Henderson for Jumbo-Visma. Kopecky in second position. The bunch stretched out now. Some damage done by the Baneberg. Next one up, the Monteberg. Christine Majerus supporting Lotte Kopecky. There's a second group forming. These are riders in the second group. With Evi Kuipers, Dutch rider of Phoenix de Koning, at the back. Trying to rejoin this group. Kopecky taking some energy. That's important too on days like these. Don't forget to eat, don't forget to drink. It's a battle against the elements. Majerus in control. Very reliable rider, the champion of Luxembourg. Always doing her job for the leaders in the team. Checking on Kopecky and Wiebes as we speak. There is the Finnish champ, Atosalo, only 19 years old, the Uno X rider. To the left we have Eleanor Backstedt. Also survived the first few hills of the day. Bossuit on Backstedt's wheel. Bastianelli made her way back to the front. And also Reusser. It was a very particular climb for Marlen Reusser, that Baneberg. Somehow she lost track of the road, landed on the side and had to continue her way by foot, running up that hill, but she made it and she's back where she's supposed to be, at the front of the bunch. Always dangerous, these corners in the village of Dranouter, where there's a festival in summer. If you like folk music, head down to Dranouter. But no time for some festival stuff today for these riders. Farmers in the region protesting for their future. Elisa Balsamo there with Lucinda Brandt. And we're off for the Monteberg now. Third categorized climb. Atosalo trying to keep up with the pace. Maximum gradient of the Monteberg, 9%.
Yeah.
The groups have merged. So we have a bunch again. Will someone try something on the steepest parts of the Monteberg? And this is Charlotte Kool. She's supposed to be the fastest of Team DSM, but she is dropped. And that could be very important. Charlotte Kool, who could beat her former teammate Lorena Wiebes earlier this year in a sprint. She's the former lead-out of Lorena Wiebes, Charlotte Kool. But she's dropped on the Monteberg, and this could change the dynamic for Team DSM in this race, because Pfeiffer Georgi crashed and Charlotte Kool dropped. Bastianelli. Bit of showing off. Taking off her vest in front of the peloton. As to say, no attacks right now, because I'm taking time to take off some clothing. And it might be a sign too, just as to say the race is on. Here we have Shirin van Anrooy at the back. She won Alfredo Binda last Sunday with a great solo efforts. She attacked with 25k to go, Shirin van Anrooy, and made it to the finish. Also a breakthrough win for her it was. And let's see what she can do in this race today. SD works. 4 riders in front there. And we're heading to the first ascent of the famous Kemmelberg. A cobbled climb. First we take on the Belvedere side, that's this one, and later on it will be the steepest side of the Kemmelberg. Brought to a standstill there at the back of the peloton. Lotte Kopecky, very dominant. Lucinda Brandt also there. Consoni still in front of the peloton. Kasia Niewiadoma. To the left is Anna Henderson. Balsamo also there. Wiebes following in Teuntje Beekhuis's wheel. Zoe Backstedt also there. Bastianelli. Bujak showing her teeth. Look at those faces. It has been a very, very hard day out there. Niewiadoma with Kopecky and Anna Henderson. Kopecky looking great. Looking very strong. They have a small gap, the three. Wiebes seems to be a bit struggling. Consoni tries to get there. Yara Castellan over there. Zoe Backstedt also in this part of the bunch. The young British rider Zoe Backstedt. Eleanor Backstedt here at the back. Done her work, done her job. Also Clara Hansinger. Again, Lotte Kopecky is there to attack in Gent-Wevelgem. She wants this race very badly. Wants to be on the list of honor of this iconic race in Flanders. Kopecky, Niewiadoma and Henderson. And who's there? Wiebes some Canyon SRAM riders also. And Consoni. As they throw themselves down from the Kemmelberg. Four hills done, 3 climbs to go. This is an interesting group forming. And we've seen on that first Kemmelberg ascent that Kopecky is looking great.
Reactie.
3 Canyon SRAM riders at least in this group, with Niewiadoma, Skalniak, I guess. And is that also Shari Bossait? Kopecky wants this group to take some seconds. Niewiadoma also feels like it. Consoni is there. I guess Wiebes got rid of her white European jersey and is now wearing a jersey of another color as the leader in the World Tour. That's the chasing group. Kopecky really wants to make this race harder than it even was due to the weather conditions. The village of Kemmel, where Wiebes crashed last year. Very interesting leaders group. Two SD Works riders with Kopecky and Wiebes. 20 seconds is their advantage. Also a rider of AG Insurance, Soudal Quickstep involved. And that is Mout Rijnbeek from the Netherlands. To 16 we have Ruby Roseman Gannon from Australia. Bossait trying to get rid of some clothing. Also Consoni. guess Kopecky wants to build on these 20 seconds. Who's chasing? Only one rider at the moment. Phoenix, the gunning rider. And that is Sanne Kant. Van Anrooy. She also needs to chase. Because we don't have a Trek Segafredo rider in this breakaway. No Balsamo. Rider breakaway with a lot of interesting names. Also Letizia Borghesi for EF Education Tipco. 12 seconds. According to the race radio, a gap of 12 seconds at the moment. And now they're off, they're cooperating. But the gap is too small. It's still Sanne Kant, I guess, trying to chase down. Less than 10 seconds, the gap. Sanne Kant, a job well done. Chasing down a breakaway. Getting as far as possible into this race. Already had more than 100k, 115 to be precise. And still 46 to go, with a small advantage for the 13 rider breakaway. It's up to the Trek Segafredo riders at the moment. Elise Chabet from Switzerland at the back of the chasing group. Also Kirsti van Haften. Kopecky wants to keep this one going. But they are back. And so the Trek Segafredo riders are back in the mix. Next up, the Scherpenberg again. Second ascent of the Scherpenberg. Teuntje Beekhuis setting the pace. A reduced group there, and actually the peloton is split into two main groups. There's the rest of them. Some 50, 60 riders up front. And these riders are trying to chase them down. It's the Finnish champion of Uno X we see over there. Ato Salo. But the team cars are in between, which means that the gap is significant. Jumbo-Visma now. Whoa, again a crash. Oh, and that's a huge crash with Lucinda Brandt there. Chiara Consoni, Bastianelli again. Nieviadoma is there. Confalonieri. These are all contenders. Oh. Pfeiffer Georgi again involved. Oh, this is a huge crash. And let's hope everyone will be okay. There it happens. The AG Insurance rider going down and taking almost half of the group with her. At the back it was a Uno X rider. Confalonieri, as we said, also involved. There it happens. Phew. Not a pretty sight at all. Broken bikes, bruised riders. Wiebes is still there. Majerus is still there. At the back we have a problem for a Canyon SRAM rider with a vest. A vest in her group set, I guess, or in her back wheel. Oh. Grace Brown still in this group. The FDJ rider there to the left. Kopecky has survived that crash. Also Reusser. So SD Works, at least 4 riders in this group. Bastianelli. A lot of misfortune today for the experienced Italian rider. Here we have Nieviadoma trying to get back. 183, Katia Ragusa of Liv Racing. Nieviadoma, she did make a great impression on those hills. But now distanced by the huge crash. Shirin van Anrooy to the right there. We also have Elisa Balsamo there. For sure, Majerus picking up the pace. We're going to the Baneberg again. To the climb with the windmill on top. With a small group, we must say, after that crash. And let's hope everyone is fine. Everyone involved in that crash. It wasn't a pretty sight. Movistar rider looks like Aude Bianic from France. Balsamo in great shape also. She's on Lorena Wiebes' wheel. Italian champion with a red helmet. With the blue helmet for Trek Segafredo, Shirin van Anrooy. At the back, some riders trying to get back in front, and I guess that's the Niewiadoma group. Reusser now. On the hill where she didn't manage to make it to the top on her bike. She had to run on the first ascent of this Baneberg. Niewiadoma. This is a huge effort to get back with 40k to go. And she's on her own. Dropped the rest of that group. Garuza was with her. Reusser looking very strong. In fact, the whole of SD Works looking very strong. We've had an impressive Lotte Kopecky. We've had a very good Lorena Wiebes up to now. SD Works again the ones to beat, I guess. Reusser with a small gap. Second part of the Baneberg leading up to the windmill with the Swiss champion Ruech also there at the back of the group. Her jersey recognizable. Reusser is a former Swiss champ, of course. 11% maximum gradient of this Baneberg. looking over her shoulder. And maybe she's a bit surprised that no one is following. Two climbs to go, one climb to go, excuse me. The Kemmelberg, the steepest side. Maximum gradient, 25%. And cobbles. A combination that can do a lot of damage. That's a nice advantage for Reusser. And we know she's a very good time trialist. That's her specialty. On her way to the Kemmelberg, Marlen Reusser. And what is happening behind her? Which team is organizing some kind of chase? Her SD Works colleagues won't do it, of course. It's Shirin van Anrooy, Wiebes on her wheel, then Majerus. Not Wiebes, of course. It's an FDJ rider. Wiebes is a bit further. So it's Reusser against Van Anrooy at the moment. Going to the final climb of this year's Gent-Wevelgem. Aerodynamics by the Swiss rider. Looking very strong. 18 seconds race radio mentions. Won a stage in the Tour de France Femmes last year, Reusser. Two-time European champion in ITT. 28 seconds. Bossuit there at the back to the right. And Kirsti van Haafte for Parkhotel Valkenburg also there. Suddenly she had that small gap on the Baneberg and decided, well, let's go. They have to get her back, of course. I guess Trek Segafredo and Canyon SRAM have to cooperate. "40 seconds already." In the background we have the Kemmelberg. Last categorized climb of the day. At the top, it is 34k to go. It would be a magnificent effort if Marlen Reusser pulls this one off. Let's see what the Kemmelberg brings. Some riders in this group will have something left for the Kemmelberg, I guess. You never know, because it has been a very hard day in these weather conditions. Consoni trying to make her way back with Pfeiffer Georgie. Also Yara Kastelein over there. And Confalonieri. Almost a minute for Marlen Reusser. Small gear for the Swiss. Almost at the cobbled section of the Kemmelberg. The steepest part is coming. Very focused. How much is the gap at the top of the Kemmelberg? Great effort by the former Swiss champion. %, steepest part. The rest of them. Where are the chasing riders? Marlen Reusser solos over the Kemmelberg to the right. Bossuyt, Grace Brown. As we saw last year, Grace Brown can do a great effort on the Kemmelberg. Kopecky also there with Shirin van Anrooy. Wiebes in front of the peloton. Balsamo is struggling. Balsamo was struggling, I guess. Kopecky looking good. Grace Brown. Bossuyt is the last one of that small group that has a tiny gap. all breathing heavily except Kopecky. She is in great shape. At this intersection we go to the left now, and then we head to Ypres again. There is Balsamo. She was suffering on the second Kemmelberg, we could see that. Confalonieri and Rueg are the last riders of the group. Marlen Reusser still in front on her own. Battling fatigue, battling the wind, battling the pouring rain. But there is some good news for her. At the finish in Wevelgem, no rain at the moment. Who's chasing here? Some riders coming back. Balsamo. Elise Chabet is there for a Canyon SRAM. Bolsuit is there. I guess also Niewiadoma made her way back. So maybe it's up to them. But this engine is running very smoothly. Swiss time trialing power. She was the best on the Baneberg. And she missed a bottle. And she missed the second one. I hope she gets another chance. Lars Boom, the DS, tried to hand over, and then another one was missed. One minute and 20 seconds for Marlen Reusser. She did great in this Gent-Wevelgem. Was the best on the Baneberg and apparently was the best on the Kemmelberg too on that last climb. And Majerus is protecting the breakaway of Reusser. No one feels like chasing Reusser down. They might not be able, because it has been such a hard race. Also, Wiebes missed the bottle there, second one. Succeeded. Jumbo-Visma, maybe they can organize something, because Shirin van Anrooy is on her own and Majerus won't cooperate, of course not. Her teammate is in front. And again, 10 seconds extra for Marlen Reusser. Some energy for the Swiss. This is a great chance for her to win a classic race with 1 minute and a half advantage. And There are riders coming back to the group, which means the pace is not high enough. "31 years of age, Marlen Reusser. Doma trying to get back into that group. Still some work to do. Still Shirin van Anrooy, but we have 4 Jumbo-Visma riders and they're organized at the moment. If they still have something in their legs, they might organize the chase. But if they don't have the legs, it will be a problem. And what if they chase down Reusser? Of course, Wiebes is still there, and she's supposed to be the fastest one when it comes to sprinting. So SD Works in a great position thanks to the Reusser move. And Trek Segafredo only have Shirin van Anrooy, who is, by the way, in great shape. She had a really nice cyclocross winter with some World Cup wins. Also with a world title in the U23 category, Shirin van Anrooy won Trofeo Alfredo Binda last week in a solo effort. But this is something else by Marlen Reusser. She won a stage in La Vuelta. And as we said in the Tour de France of last year, La Vuelta was in 2021. Also ended second in the GC of that Vuelta. Well, it almost comes to a standstill here, because Shirin van Anrooy has stopped chasing and Anna Henderson needs another bike. Doma made it back to the group and attacks from it. 2 minutes is the gap. Doma tries to make some of it. But when she looks over her shoulder, she sees Majerus, and Majerus won't help. Again, Marlen Reusser's chances increase. Jaco Al-Ula now at the front. Maybe they're able It has just been such a hard race. And Marlen Reusser is just that good today. Gap still increasing. FDJ now. Also Grace Brown on her way to the front of the peloton. They have to. But there is also some crosswind now. And this part of the race, the wind is always there. Yara Kastelein here to the left. Pfeiffer Georgie has been involved in some crashes, trying to make her way back. I guess every one of these riders have their own story of today's race. And for some riders, it hasn't been a pretty story at all. Two riders of FDG with Grace Brown. Two minutes the difference. Christina Schweinberger of Phoenix de Koning is also there, rejoined the group. Georgie is back. You see the flags, wind in this part of the race. It is a headwind. So no rain, but some more wind. It's just incredible today. It's been an epic Gent-Wevelgem. You only have to watch those faces and you know they have been battling all day, have been suffering. And still 25k to go. Reusser trying to get as aerodynamic as possible. Still looking great. Still a high paddling rhythm. Still focused. Watching our data. Don't get into that red zone too much. She still has more than 2 minutes. So the chase of FDJ, excuse me, is not really sufficient at the moment. Ypres. The gates are open. What a ride again for Marlen Reusser. When she leaves the city center of Ypres, just over 20k to go. The direction of the wind will be slightly different in that last part of the race. In the background we have the Lakenhalle. That's where they started at 2 o'clock this afternoon. And after 140k, Marlen Reusser is here again. From the central square, she now goes to the Menin Gate, where the official start took place. More than 54,000 names of missing officers and men of the Great War are on that gate. Green light for Marlen Reusser. The turn towards Wevelgem. And still more than 2 minutes the gap. FDJ tried it, Shirin van Androoy tried it, but they're still trying. Maybe Canyon SRAM can do something now. Grace Brown again looking very good in Gent Wevelgem, also last year. Was this attack in the final 3k by Brown, and I can remember that the Trek Segafredo team had to chase her down. Oh, and there she goes, Grace Brown. Crash by the Australian. She was at the front, and now Shirin van Androoy again has to take responsibility. Jumbo Visma riders united. The black and yellow. Bastianelli still there in the group, but at the back. guess she would have imagined another final Gent-Wevelgem. But that's how it goes in cycling. Here, some assistance for Reusser and some words by Lars Boom, former winner of a Tour de France stage, former world champion in cyclocross also, Lars Boom. And Anna van der Breggen is at the wheel of the team car. Again, some energy for Marlen Reusser for the last 20k. On her way to take a classic victory. Now the Jumbo-Visma riders try to do something. But it's 2 minutes and 25 seconds. She still manages to increase the gap. Yara Castellan moving in front. For Marlen Reusser, it's her third race of the season. She did the opening weekend in Flanders with Omloop het Nieuwsblad en Omloop van het Hageland. 14th on Saturday, 15th on Sunday, back then. And she's going to pull this one off. A time trial of 19k is left for this Swiss machine. The straight road to Wevelgem. This is what she trained for. SD Works already took 6 wins in this season. They started off with a stage win by Lorena Wiebes in the UAE Tour. Then Kopecky took Omloop het Nieuwsblad. And Bossuit is now trying to organize a chase, some kind of. Let's continue the list of wins by SD Works. Demi Vollering was the best in Strade Bianche in that awkward sprint against Lotte Kopecky. Wiebes took her third win of the season in the Ronde van Drenthe, and Kopecky her second of the season in Nokere Koersen. And that last one for Kopecky was a very emotional one because her brother passed away a few days earlier. Anna Henderson. For Jumbo-Visma. Has some teammates left there. the group stretched out. Christina Schweinberger also assisting in the chase. Balsamo, what is left for Balsamo? She might think of the sprint for second place. Still going strong, Marlen Reusser. 17k to go. Passing the Hogekrater Cemetery, one of the many cemeteries in the region. Kopecky looking at her opponents as if to say, what are you guys doing? Marlen is just the best in this race. Bossuyt searching, looking for some support by other teams. But then Majerus is at the front. And she protects, of course, the breakaway. Niewiadoma. With Bianik. Counter-attack is neutralized by Kopecky. Bossuyt again. She's feeling good. She was in a good form earlier this week in Classic Bruges de Panne. For Georgie, winner of Bruges de Panne. Anna Henderson is there. Van Andro tries to bridge the gap. Majerus. And the Uno X rider is Confalonieri. For Georgie and Megan Jastrap did a great move in De Moere on Thursday, and it was the decisive move. And afterwards Jastrap launched an attack. She was chased down, and immediately Pfeiffer Georgie tried, and she succeeded. But now there, at least Pfeiffer Georgie is in the chase on Marlen Reusser, together with Bossuyt, with Anna Henderson, Majerus. Bujak is there for UAE. And also Shirin van Anrooy made it. Some 10 seconds advantage for the group of Bossuyt and Van Anrooy and Pfeiffer Georgie. Anderson has something left. The UNO-X rider is Eleanor Barker. So 7 riders ready to fight for the second podium spot. 15K to go for this group. Entering Wervik with Marlen Reusser. Has a great riding style. You can put a bottle of water on her back and leave it there for 10K. It won't fall off. Just an incredible ride by this Swiss rider. Again at the Baneberg with more than 30K to go. She had a small gap on top of the Baneberg and she decided to go for it. On the Kemmelberg, the last hill of the day, she managed to increase her advantage. And in the meantime, her breakaway, her solo effort was protected by her teammates. By the likes of Christine Majerus, who is now in the group that is going to battle for the second spot. Some 15 seconds for the 7 up front there. And the group in echelon formation. A lot of twists and turns in this Gent Wevelgem, and again there is a crash. It was Lorena Wiebes, I guess. Okay, also Kopecky is there. Wiebes went into the mud and went down. Here we see it to the right there. Let's hope everyone's okay. Another crash. We've had too much crashes. Also Balsamo involved. They're still bended over in pain. Wiebes I hope she's okay. Kopecky still there. Madeleine Reusser won't know of it. Won't know of that crash until she's crossed the line. She's on her way to a great win. Only a few riders won't be involved in a crash after this edition of the women's Gent Wevelgem, I guess. Also, Madeleine Reusser had her part of bad luck. Remember the first ascent of the Baneberg when she had to run up that hill. But on the second ascent, it was something else. Van Anrooy, Majerus, Bujak, Henderson, Bossait, Barker and Georgie. 3 British riders in a group of 7 battling for the second spot. Another DSM rider and a Jaco Alula rider. For DSM, it's Megan Jestrap. And for Jaco Alula, I guess it's Ruby Roseman Gannon. This is left of the group. Schweinberger and Confalonieri also there. She just manages to keep the pace. It's incredible. Just incredible. Still on a rather large gear. Still picking up the pace after some corners. She could go on for the rest of the day, I guess. And who will be the fastest of these riders? We know Bossait has a good sprint. Of course, for Georgie is fast. But we might have a surprise by another rider, because you never know how they feel after such a hard day, after coping with all the chaos with the weather conditions, with the crashes. Jastrap and Roseman Gannon trying to close the gap. And they're going to succeed. Jastrap with a very large gear. So we have 9 riders in the group. And they can ride for the podium. There is the banner of 5K to go for Marlen Reusser. But she misses their corner. What happens there? There she is. Luckily, she has more than a 2-minute advantage. Because if it was 30 seconds, that would have been another story. Luckily, how much? She's asking now. How much? Stressful moments for Marlen Reusser. Into the last 5K of this Gent Wevelgem. She doesn't have to get nervous now. But it's easier said than done, of course, when you're about to win a classic race in epic conditions. During her time at SD Works, she already did some great stuff for her teammates. She's with the team since 2022, so this is her 2nd year. She's a pro rider since 2019. Also the 9 chasers past the intersection where it went wrong for Reusser just a few minutes ago. Luckily, she was back on track within 10 seconds of time. There's the sign for the 3K to go. The reigning European champion time trial is going to pull this one off in great fashion. Okay, her team is very strong and her breakaway is protected by her teammates. But what an effort. Again, she asked the guy on the motorbike. How much? 220, he said. That's correct. Are you sure? She wanted confirmation again. Very nervous now, Marlen Reusser. Two to go. 162.5k. The longest one-day classic on the World Tour calendar, this Gent-Wevelgem. Looking forward to the winner's interview also by Marlen Reusser. Georgie watching her opponents. Anna Henderson now tries. And Jastrap reacts immediately on Henderson's wheel. Also Roseman Gannon. Game on in the battle for the second and third podium spot. She grew up in Swiss Emmental. Until she was 16, she played the violin. And she studied medicine, worked as an assistant doctor for surgery before she became a professional cyclist. And during the preparation for the World Championship in Innsbruck, she still worked part-time as a doctor in a hospital. She's a woman of the world, Marlen Reusser. And she is about to take a great win. She's about to take this year's Gent-Wevelgem with a huge advantage. Never has it happened that a rider finished solo with more than 2 minutes advantage in the women's editions of Gent-Wevelgem. Swiss precision by Marlen Reusser. What an effort. What a race. What a win. Hats off. Enjoy, Marlen Reusser, because you deserve it. And now focus on the battle for the rest of the podium, with Jastrap at the back, Georgie at the front, Bujak for UAE, Van Anrooy. They're almost letting it come to a standstill. Majerus could make it a 1-2 for SD Works. Van Anrooy. She opens up just before the Flamme Rouge. Pfeiffer Georgie fluently on the wheel. Then Anna Henderson again. Jastrap, the DSM riders are neutralizing every effort by opponents. Whoa. Almost against the rear wheel of Henderson there. Jastrap just managed Jastrap and Georgie together now. Will Jastrap lead out for her British teammate? Or will they be surprised by another rider? What is Bossait up to? Eleanor Parker, but the rest is back. The rest is back. Bastianelli still there. They're not going to sprint for the second spot, that group of 9. Bastianelli wants it. They have waited too long. Maybe Pfeiffer Georgie can do the sprint. Jastrap starts the sprint. Georgie a bit closed in. Confalonieri also there. On the line, there is still a Canyon SRAM rider. And they're watching each other as searching for confirmation. Marlen Reusser giving interviews already. I guess someone has to lead her to the interview tent. And they're marking her bike, of course, just to check later on. Part of the proceedings. Jastrap and Georgie hugging each other, checking whether they're okay. She can't believe it. Megan Jastrap, she's second. Caroline Swinkels was the Jumbo-Visma rider. She takes third.
Pas op, opgelet, we moeten niet zijn. Dank u, opgelet. Opgelet.
Pure joy for Marlen Reusser. In her third race of 2023, she takes a great win. After a day in the rain, in the wind, on narrow Flemish roads, on cobbled climbs, a fantastic display of power. Congratulated by the team's aides. And here we have the sprint for the second place again with Jastrap and Swinkels. Also Schweinberger involved in the last few meters. Jastrap holds on. Has been a long sprint. And so it is still a rider of that 9-rider chasing group that takes the second spot. Megan Jastrap from the United States. Carlijn Swinkels from the Netherlands is third. Disbelief for Megan Jastrap. It's been a great week for these riders, with Pfeiffer Georgie taking the win in Bruges de Panne and a second place for Megan Jastrap in Gent Wevelgem. Maaike van der Duin was the Canyon SRAM rider in fourth position. And Schweinberger fifth. What a day out there on Western Flemish roads. And at the moment we are waiting for the Marlen Reusser winner's interview. Very much looking forward, of course, to what she will have to say after such an effort. Here we have Van der Duin. Maaike van der Duin, the young Canyon SRAM rider, leading the Youth Women's World Tour. So it has been a great day for Marlen Reusser, who adds a prestigious win to her palmares. This is the famous Steinkot Cemetery. The Commonwealth War Graves Commission is responsible for the war cemeteries here in the region. And no matter what, people keep visiting the fallen. Gent Wevelgem is the race that honors the victims of the First World War. Hence the In Flanders Fields baseline, a reference to the famous poem by John McCrae, written in 1915. We can't get enough of the Finnish images of Marlen Reusser. As we said, in 2019 she decided to ride her bike professionally, to become a full-time rider. And already in her first year she took a top 10 in the Liège-Bastogne-Liège Classic. Second place for Megan Jastrap today. Lots of emotions going through her mind, crossing the line. Lots of joy with a podium spot in a classic race such as Gent-Wevelgem. Jastrap wins the sprint for the second podium spot, and Caroline Swinkels just throws her wheel before that of Maaike van der Duin. It's a close one between those two. You might just want to review that. So it's Maaike van der Duin who might take the third spot, just in front of Caroline Swinkels. So it's logic that it takes a bit of time just to sort things out as to who is on the podium. Again, a review of the sprint with Jastrap, who seemed to start her sprint a bit too early, but she managed to hold on. Pfeiffer Georgie, her teammate, boxed in there to the right. Anna Henderson also trying to get up there, but Jastrap holds on, and on the line it could be Maaike van der Duin who beats Caroline Swinkels for the third spot. Bastianelli also top 10 in her final Gent-Wevelgem. In July she retires from cycling. Top 10, Reusser, then Jastrap, and it's Maaike van der Duin who beats Caroline Swinkels for the third podium spot. Then Christina Schweinberger, Bastianelli on 6, Barker 7, Clara Copponi of FDJ Suez 8, Anna Henderson 9, and Shari Bossuit is the first Belgian. The gap between Reusser and her sprinting colleagues, 2 minutes and 42 seconds. That's one for the books. What's up next for the Women's World Tour? On Wednesday we have Dwars door Vlaanderen, but we'll first have a look at the highlights of this race. With a lot of crashes, unfortunately. And this one taking out Lone Meertens of AG Insurance Soudal Quickstep. But also Pfeiffer Georgie involved. Niewiadoma and Lotte Kopecky looking very good on the first ascent of the Kemmelberg. Also Anna Henderson involved. And then a major crash in front, at the front of the peloton, excuse me, with Lucinda Brandt, Consoni, Bastianelli. Chaos. And let's hope they're not injured too badly. This was the decisive move. Marlen Reusser on the Banenberg. And she didn't look back. She increased her lead, going over the Kemmelberg also. And then time trialing her way to the Kemmelberg. Great effort on the steepest side of that hill. Few in the chasing group had the legs to decrease the gap. Few teams could get organized. There was a crash of Lorena Wiebes also. Lotte Kopecky came to a standstill. And Marlen Reusser took it after a great solo effort. Sprint for the second spot was won by American Megan Jastrab. What's next for Marlen Reusser? Well, on Wednesday she will ride Dwars door Vlaanderen. And on Sunday it's the big one, Tour of Flanders, also for Marlen Reusser. We're going to listen to today's winner, Marlen Reusser from Switzerland.
Marlen Reusser, congratulations. How does it feel to win a Flemish Classic?
Very nice. I'm super happy, but I'm so tired. I think I'm not yet here with my head.
Why did you attack from 40k to go?
Yeah, I didn't attack. I thought maybe we can make a little bit the selection or the small group. And there was just nobody on my wheel. And then I thought, yeah, let's try a bit.
How hard was it?
Very hard, really. It was very, very hard. Especially my arms. Like, I cannot even dress myself now. I'm so done.
Were you thinking, why did I attack so early?
No. I mean, we have such a strong team. We have, don't know, 6 cards to play. So at one point we needed to start because we were in this group. We were with such such high numbers, almost the whole team, I think. So we had to start to play a game a bit. So I was okay with this. But yeah, for sure I was thinking like it's a long way to the finish line, yeah.
You were doing a great job, like a real time trialist. What happened in the last 5k? You took the wrong road?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I think I didn't see the guys giving me the way. I went straight. It was wrong. That was not so good. I was not concentrated.
Was there panic?
No, not panic. Yeah, but it's. I was not happy about this. Like I was a little bit angry that I had the feeling they didn't show well that we turned. So I was a bit like, why didn't you show me better? Because yeah, it's not nice to lose seconds like this.
Did you have a clue about the time gap? Because you kept on asking how much, how much?
Yeah, my problem was that the radio was dropping off my ear all the time, and I think sometimes they said it or said something and I just didn't hear it. And then, yeah, I wanted to know, like, I was dying so much, I was really done, so I wanted to know if I really have to push on full gas or if I can relax a little bit, because I was really done.
When did you realize I'm going to win this?
Yeah, I think 1K, like, the cars went back. I understood, yeah, it's probably going to happen. So 1K to go, I was slowly getting more secure, sure. But even at 400, 300 meters, I was still like, maybe does somebody come? No, but I was thinking that's going to work out, yeah.
You're the first Swiss woman to win this race, and I'm pretty sure you're the first doctor to win this race too.
I have no clue, but yeah, cool.
Okay,
Nice.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great to hear from Marlen Reusser. And she just attacked and didn't look back. An American won the sprint, Megan Jastrap. We're going to hear from her pretty soon.
Megan Jastrap, second place. When did you start believing that this was possible?
Yeah, I don't know if I really thought it was believable until like Anna Henderson attacked with 1K to go and I was in good position. But then, yeah, I was on the front and I was worried because I knew there was a group behind us that was coming pretty quick. So I was worried we were going to get swarmed and then boxed in. But it just so happened that someone opened it up a little bit, and then, yeah, I took over quite early for that long of a sprint at the end of the race, but just really wanted to get to that finish line first at the end. So, yeah, a little extra motivation.
And it was an impressive sprint you had.
Thanks, yeah, I know I'm not like the fastest sprinter out there, but just in that group after a hard race, I just mentally was like just going all in to get the team a podium today.
You're young, 20 years old, but these kind of races seems to suit you very well. You won this race when you were young, younger.
Yeah, I'm actually 21 now, but yeah, I came over for my first year racing for the Cannibal team whenever I was 16. I won that race, the U17 race, and then I came back over in 2019 with the national team and got second. So yeah, I raced the elite last year, was just doing positioning, and then I actually was at a time limit last year. I didn't even finish the race. And then this year, yeah, just the team believed in us and helped Pfeiffer and I get to the finish. So yeah, tried to finish it off for them the best I could.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Megan Jastrap, she has a history with this race. Every year on the same day, and some youth races are organized too. Making their way to the podium, Marlen Reusser, Megan Jastrap, and also Maaike van der Duin will join them. In the interview, Marlen Reusser also told the interviewer that her arms were hurting. But if we see this, it's okay, I think, with her arms.
Like, this race was the coldest race of my life, really. At one point I was thinking we're gonna die.
I know. Especially when we were riding, I was just like, please, someone attack. Yeah.
Great conversation between the top three of this race.
No, don't attack, actually.
Trying to get warm.
Like, I was thinking if I was a small team or something, I would just go on break. Like,
It's cold.
and I put so many clothing.
The wind and the rain really
But then I just kept
took a lot of energy away.
Yeah.
Maaike van der Duin is the first one to go out. She just beat Caroline Swinkels for the third spot. Just looking for confirmation where she needs to position herself. I'm trying to cope with the cold.
Second place for one of our riders coming from the United States of America. We applause for Megan Jastrap.
Megan Jastrap. Won this race as a youth rider with the U17 and at 21 years old. She wins the sprint for the second spot. Here's your 2023 Gent Wevelgem winner, Marlen Reusser. After Elisa Balsamo last year and Marianne Vos the year before, we now have a Swiss winner of the Gent Wevelgem in Flanders Fields classic race. A lot of support for the women's podium. Great to hear. A Swiss doctor is the best in Flanders Fields. The trophy she received was designed in 2015, and it is made using a 3D printer, and it's a piece of art with a lot of detailed accents and a quite complicated structure. But first, champagne. No alcohol for the Swiss doctor, at least for now. Picture perfect for Marlen Reusser. And also Jastrap and Van der Duin enjoying this moment. Although they're quite cold. The supporters dancing to keep warm. And the press photographers, they can gather before the podium, in front of the podium, excuse me, to have the snaps of victorious Marlen Reusser. The Brothers in Arms Memorial in Zonnebeke, near the town of Ypres. An image that speaks for itself.
Organize a normal vest for me somewhere.
And she needs a vest to get warm. Because proceedings continue for the winner. She needs to go to the press room. In the meantime, Maaike van der Duin is back on the podium with the leader's jersey for the youth ranking in the Women's World Tour. The blue jersey for the leader there.
En dan zometeen gaan we een jaarlijkse traditie uiteraard ook vandaag verder zetten. Namelijk het op het podium krijgen van alle winnaars en winnaressen van onze...
And the other winners are also invited to the podium because, as I said, there were several races today in Flanders Fields. The juniors Gent Wevelgem was won by Stefan de Schuiteneer. He's an 18-year-old Belgian riding for AG2R Citroën U19 team. And the guy of the Soudal Quickstep development team won the U23 race. He is Gilles Gelders. And Isabel Sharp won the women's junior race. And Sharp beats Kat Ferguson in the sprint. This is the U17 winner. Isabel Sharp beats Kat Ferguson in the sprint. And a Dutch rider is also one of the winners. Great to have these winners on the podium too. It's a tradition at Gent Wevelgem. After the elite riders, the youth riders can take center stage. Well, it has been a great women's race in Flanders Fields today. It was a pleasure commentating on such an epic classic. And racing in Flanders continues on Wednesday with Dwars door Vlaanderen and next Sunday with Tour of Flanders. Thank you very much and bye for now.